Some 38 minutes off the top of the hour. Thank you for staying with us on the AM show. Now, as we tackle our big stories, we have two members of parliament. I'll be introducing them shortly. But we're going to be zeroing in on this entire bit when it comes to public sector workers and what the government statistician has said. We'll talk about the LGBTQI plus bill. And we'll also get into that matter to do with a bipartisan committee as proposed by the minority to get into election 2020. But beyond that, we'll have a few conversations, things that we've been talking about, things that are of national concern. But our guest this morning, Collins Adomako-Mensah, Member of Parliament, Afigya, Kwabre North. He joins the conversation. Thank you so much for joining the conversation, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We also have Honorable Murtala, Member of Parliament for Tamale. Is it Tamale North or Tamale Central? I get confused.
I'm not going to respond to this.
Don't do that to me. Sometimes it gets, I get it right most of the time, but sometimes.
Tamale Central.
Tamale Central,
yes.
But gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Thank you. And this is the first time meeting you in person.
Oh, yeah.
It's the time when we speak on the AM show.
Yeah.
I'm on Zoom.
Okay.
And then my brother will be here, has a field day, and then he'll be lambasting the government. Today I'm here with him.
Well, ask him whether he's comfortable with the mess we are experiencing in this country today.
Anyway, so let's get into this other matter that I want to bring up, even before we get into the major stories. We have the latest when it comes to the National Cathedral, and we're talking about it in the course of the news review. What is your take on that entire development? $25 million expended, seed money, so to speak. We hear it's even been paid already. And there's also the bit about David Ajay and Associates.
And another 20 million.
Getting some, what, is it 32 million Ghana cedis?
The billion?
In there.
Is it billion or million?
Million.
Okay.
Million. They can't possibly be getting more than what the cost of the National Cathedral is. Your quick take on that?
Do you even know the cost? Well, it keeps changing. And good morning. Good morning to my brother. Sometimes I can understand the challenge in defending this government. There are some of our colleagues who are opposition. I shudder to think that my honorable brother is one of the few who are opposition. And of course, good morning to our viewing public and the good people of Tamale Central. We live in a country that is governed by laws. We agreed as a people that never again should we be governed by a military dictatorship. And for which reason we democratized since 1992, which came into fruition in 1993. Even though they boycotted the drafting of the 1992 Constitution, when they felt that they didn't need to sit around one table with fishermen, teachers, and nurses to draft the Constitution through the Consultative Assembly. Be it as it may, we have all agreed collectively that democracy is the way to go. And having agreed to charter the path of democracy, you have no excuse than to absolutely succumb to the dictates of the democratic processes. And in this case, the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, the laws that we have all agreed collectively through legislative and some rulings of our courts to be the guiding principles on which we conduct business. The law is no respecter to a person, not even the president. The Constitution and the law says that for you to expend a dime of the public money, you must have the approval of the entirety of the people of this country. Of course, you cannot gather the over 32 million Ghanaians to approve that. That is why the approval is done through their representatives. That is, in this case,
Members of Parliament.
That is one. Two, it is also important for every government to understand that you are holding the resources of this country in trust. You don't own it. President Nana Addo never came into office with his money. The monies that he's managing for the good of the people of this country, if he's even doing that, is monies that belongs to us. The same Constitution also says that for you to engage in an international transaction that involves an international entity, you must have the approval of the people of this country through Parliament. there are several issues. In fact, the Supreme Court has a ruling in the matter of this engagement, and the Supreme Court position was that Parliament must set the threshold as to how much constitutes, a financial transaction which warrants the approval of Parliament. As we see today, Parliament hasn't done yet. So what is significant is what the laws of this country says we should do. Now, you have a president who illegally dipped his hands into state coffers, disregarded the constitutional provision, disregarded the decency.
When you say he disregarded the constitutional provision, what are you pointing to?
He knew, and he ought to have known. As a lawyer who practiced, in fact, President has been in the bar virtually my entire age, and therefore he ought to have known that this is what the law says, that you cannot take monies from the state funds without the approval of Parliament. And that is why even when we approve budgets...
But what if he has God's approval? It's an enterprise that he says, it's his promise to God.
No.
God reigns supreme, even over your Parliament.
I saw one journalist video, Paul, and I was flabbergasted. And I can make the video available justifying this. And I asked myself, where has democracy and journalism gone to? Sometimes when I listen to such narratives, I am tempted to agree with Cicero when he said that politics was a country idiot, to be very honest with you, because outrageous things happen. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't do ABC, but what we are simply saying, that we are living in a democracy. And President Nanado was one of the people who advocated for us to be governed by democratic principles and tenets. So the law is simple. He disregarded the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. He disregarded even Parliament. Mind you, Parliament is sine qua non to our democratic processes. Again, why would your personal pledge with your creator becomes a responsibility of the state? The NPP never had in the manifesto for 2016 and 2020 that they were going to build a cathedral. After the election, the president told us that he made a personal pledge with God, his creator, and that should he be given the mandate to govern this country, he was going to build a cathedral. Why would suddenly your personal pledge becomes a responsibility and a burden on all of us at a time when school feeding, and I listened to this on your station.
Right.
Our kids are fed with 37 pesos.
97.
Sorry, 97 pesos.
Right.
I have a less than 2-year-old daughter. It will be suicidal if I want to feed that girl with 97 pesos a day. These kids are fed with 97 pesos. The caterers are demanding an increase from 97 to 3 cedis. This Minister for Finance, who is there because he is a family relation to the president, says that there is no money. Yet we can find money.
Let me quickly
look.
No. Hold on. I'm just saying. You say who is there because he's a relative to the president. He's been finance minister. I cannot confirm that. So
he failed in everything. Tell me one single success story you can say about this Minister for Finance. Tell me one. Unemployment, he took it from 6.8 to 19% per the census. And even if you want to go by his own document, to 12.6% in the 2022 budget. The same Minister for Finance took the cedi to the dollar, 3.6, 3.7 to 8.2 this morning. The same Minister for Finance took the debt portfolio of this country. He served in the Finance Committee. How much was it under NBC? Less than 60%. They said President Mohammed was incompetent. Today, how much is it? Official document puts it at 81.3%. We think it's even more than that. Tell me one single thing. The same minister, the NHIA is indebted by 2 billion. We were just told that they
Are you looking at our GDP and its growth over the years? Are you considering that as well?
To what? Oh, wow. And the NDC, we're not looking at the growth of the GDP.
No, but I'm just saying, the growth of our economy.
To what
extent? A buoyant economy.
Buoyant economy.
It's in 2021, 2022.
If we're going to go by that logic, then we should trace it up to the days before independence.
You're saying there is no positive, and I'm saying that. How about that?
What positive?
What would you say about that?
Look, the objective of every decent-minded government is to improve the living conditions of your people. That is everything about governance is to improve the living conditions of your people.
Right.
Tell me what conditions of Ghanaians have been improved under this government and under this minister. So I am saying that in the eyes of all this, when NAPCO beneficiaries haven't been paid, yesterday and the day before, your station carried it, that national service persons went on demonstration that they haven't had their allowances. Myself and he were all in Parliament. And I can shudder, I can bet my last penny that he bought food for some national service persons in Parliament. Because we have all had such experiences because they haven't gotten...
Did that happen? Is that something you've had to do at a point?
Well, I've had a national service person approach me.
Exactly, look.
In my office.
That they are hungry.
You've had them... Hold on for me. You've had them approach you.
Not necessarily for me to buy food for. For the person. But I've had person.
But have you ever had to do that? Like, get some local food, buy food or something?
We do that as members of parliament all the time.
Well, I am saying that I have had experience where national service persons have approached me and said they are hungry. They are hungry.
In recent times?
Oh, several times. You can go and find out from the coffee shop. And you had to do this. I'm sorry I have to state it, of course. But you see...
Let me just... Yes. It's tied to this. Do you feel... I think they get, what, 559 or so. Do you feel it is high time as well that as a country we took a second look at how much, especially in these economic times? We should. Because transport fares alone, let's say the person is commuting even in Accra.
Yes.
It means it is gone. So what is that person going to subsist or survive on to do that?
And the sad aspect of it is that these national service persons are validated by their supervisors. If you miss 1, 2, 3 days, per the national service's own, guiding principles, you cannot validate such a person. So there are national service persons who will tell you that I can't refuse coming to work, even though I don't have the means to come because we haven't been paid for 2, 3 months. Now, if the person doesn't come to work, it means that that person will not be validated. And the person did not choose not to come to work voluntarily, but he didn't have
so the point the
point I'm just making is that in the eyes of all these challenges, this president engaged in what they engage in. I want you to ask my brother to be very sincere with his conscience, not with you and with myself. God, propaganda will not allow them to do that. And tell your viewing public whether he's comfortable with what this government is doing. Yet you don't find the Ghana Bar Association saying anything about it. You don't find the Transparency International and others saying anything about it. You don't find the doyens of our democracy saying anything about it.
So
a blatant disregard to our laws by a person who touts himself as the protector of our democracy. If President Mohammed attempted a scintilla of this, I'm telling you, this country, there would have been series of demonstrations. Why would you do this? If you made a pledge with your creator, what has that got to do with us?
Quick point. So just to clarify, you're saying Nana Addo has broken the law?
Absolutely.
By, ensuring that this sum of money is made available. You're saying
ensuring that Parliament approves.
He's not gone through the proper process.
Yes, and in any, I listened to my good friend, Honorable John Kuma. He's my very good friend. I have a simple advice for him. He should take his time. If he doesn't take time, this government will destroy him. Why? I listened to him on your station. And the first question Evans asked him, whether there was an approval. I said, yes, it was approved in the 2018 financial statement. And Evans was being very smart. And Evans quickly referred...
I followed
He quickly referred to the 2018 financial statement. There was no mention of any amount given for the purposes of the cathedral.
He mentions that if it's under the presidency.
So, he said something that for me was laughable. He said that, it was in the 2018 financial statement, even though it has been established that there wasn't any amount. Granted that it was. He went ahead to say that, yes, because it was in the 2018 budget statement, if we're not able to release monies, we can release monies in 2022. And I tell my friend, I know, when the life of any budget expires, any budget statement expires, if you want to do it, you would have to seek the approval of Parliament. You cannot say, because assuming without admitting that they even had it in the 2018 budget statement, assuming you had it there, it doesn't mean that you can put save in 2020. So what we are simply saying, that the civil society organizations and other people who want us, the clergy, why are they silent on this matter? A clear violation of our laws.
I want you
a clear violation of the Supreme Court.
Finally, because I also want to give Collins quite a bit of time. But like you can see in the Custodian newspaper today, the point is made that the National Cathedral will generate some 95.5 million, let's round it off, $100 million in 5 years. And there's a breakdown.
How did they come?
So they are talking about, according to projections by the Secretariat of the Board of Trustees, it's expected to receive about 400,000 visitors annually from Africa, other parts of the world, and from within Ghana. It is estimated 30% of the visitors, that is 120,000, will be foreigners, 70%, that's 280,000, will be people living and working in Ghana. It goes on to give a bit of a breakdown, and the figures we can expect and this is what it comes to.
Ben,
I can't go through all of them.
We have bigger,
but almost $100 million in 5 years.
Ben,
does that not make it worth it?
That's an absolute lie. How did they come by that? We have bigger cathedrals in Nigeria and others. What? In fact, we have bigger cathedrals in Ghana. Tamale, one of the biggest cathedrals in Ghana is in Tamale in my area. We used to go there, and I still go there all the time. I'm saying that what has it generated? You see, this is what we call get off my back explanation. Because assuming without admitting that it will generate that, you must engage in an illegality. And what is shocking, why would you build the house of God on the pact of lies, deceit, and outright illegality? Why would you want to do that? The same government that is telling us that he's so holier than thou, he is building a cathedral, is promoting LGBTQ, something that the Bible frowns upon.
How is government promoting LGBTQ?
Why? Must I tell you this government is promoting it?
How exactly are they doing it?
There are LGBTQ billboards everywhere in this country. When they know that our laws in this country frowns upon the conduct of those individuals. You had an organization, when they had the so-called...
The law may not be explicit enough, which is why, we want to do.
So there is uncertainty.
And that is why you have the LGBTQ anti-gay bill in Parliament. That's why you have it there.
Which is being frustrated,
Frustrated by whom?
Ask my brother that he should tell us publicly on this
we'll get into that.
whether he supports the bill.
Don't you worry.
Privately, they support the bill, but publicly, they can't say anything.
What is your take on this entire dynamic? I mean, the projection here is that...
He supports the bill, but publicly, he can't do that.
It will garner for us some $100 million in 5 years. That is about $20 million per year. What is your take?
Let me begin by saying, and I'm saying...
And why that mischievous look? I'm sorry, but you have this look.
You know, he's one of the few honest guys in the, and I expect him to demonstrate the honesty.
Honest opinion. You are looking at...
Ask him whether he supports the anti-LGBTQ thing. Privately, he's against it. Publicly, he can't. They have all been my colleagues.
Over to you.
Let me make this point, and I'm saying this forcefully, that this government has not demonstrated anything to show that they support LGBTQ.
But they have.
Let's make it very, very clear.
So what's your position?
At no point, I'm coming, and I'll make my position clear for everybody to know. At no point.
Your concerns are watching.
At no point has this government made any statement to the effect that they support LGBTQ. Let's make that clear. The president on several occasions has made it absolutely clear.
It is bound to happen.
Oh, please. On several platforms, the president has said that this is not going to happen under his presidency, and he has made that very, very clear.
It is happening.
So let's not go there. And I think we should just clear that this government has not, in any case, made that statement.
And that is why I took him on.
Yes,
the billboards are springing everywhere.
And he asked of my opinion on it. I'm married.
No, your position, no opinion.
I am married. I have kids.
Are you in support of?
I said I am married.
Murtala, let him.
If I wanted to be gay, I wouldn't be married. I am married. I have a wife, beautiful wife as such. I have 3 kids.
So
I can't be gay.
Okay.
That is my response to you.
But others, Murtala, please.
Murtala.
Others will also tell you that this is your choice. We've also chosen not to be.
I am saying I am married. I am not for gayism. That's my position.
You support the bill.
So your position, what is it premised on? Because sometimes people say it's the moral argument. And what is your position?
Whether moral, culturally, I am not in support of it. It's as simple as that.
You are not in support.
I don't like.
So you are in support of the bill.
Well, there are some aspects of the bill that I want amended. And
but generally,
that is why
you are in support of the idea.
I'm coming. That is why it is going through a certain process.
Right.
It will come back to the plenary after the committee has done its work for amendments to be done. At that point, I'll make my point clear. I've read the bill. There are some aspects of it.
What aspects are you not comfortable with?
I think we will discuss that. But the general point is that I am not for gayism. As I said, I'm married, I have kids.
There are people who are married who are advocating for it.
Murtala, I am making my point. You asked for my opinion.
Do you support the point?
Murtala.
Now again, he talked about the...
Let me do this.
I know he supports the bill, but he can't say it publicly.
It's okay, even if, I mean,
I've made my
there are things you may discuss out there that you don't put here. So
viewers can deduce my position on this matter. About this issue about family, the finance minister is there because he's a family member of the president. He knows that the finance minister is not there because he's a family member.
Really?
He qualifies to be there.
And the mess is created.
Oh, please, we can discuss his performance. But
he has failed in all fronts.
Please, we can discuss that. But I'm saying that he being there is not because he's a brother to, or a cousin to the president.
So you've made the point, and it's good. We'll come back to the National Cathedral. You've made the point about merit, but do you feel, and you've also said, we can talk about his performance. Let me just hold you to it. Do you feel our finance minister, because some have even suggested that on the back of his performance, he should be, axed from office. Do you feel he's done enough to justify his position?
That is the decision for the president to make.
Do you feel?
I said that
as a member of parliament, as a citizen.
That is a decision for the president to make. The president is the appointing authority, if he so wishes.
Wait. So let me reverse this. Is that to say that, as you sit here, you don't have enough confidence in your finance minister to state categorically?
I do.
That
Why don't I have confidence in the finance minister? I do have confidence.
But he seems to be dilly-dally.
No.
He's a member of the finance committee.
I have confidence in the finance minister. You are asking whether he should go off or not. And I'm saying that decision is for the president, not mine. It's the president's decision. It's the prerogative of the president to decide who becomes the finance minister or not. That's the president's decision. Now, having cleared that, now let's go to the cathedral.
We haven't cleared this one. Who told you?
No, you are not the, you are not the host. I have cleared that. Now let's go to the cathedral. And as you put it, to be very frank with you, and I'm being very, very objective about this matter. Right. It's a personal opinion.
So the other ones.
I don't want you to Murtala.
Well, he said, I am being very objective on this matter.
It doesn't mean he's not objective on other matters. But objectivity is exactly what we want on the show. So
allow me to make my point, Murtala.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a Christian. I don't have any issue with building an edifice for God. I'm a Christian.
Right.
Of course, when I walk past Kaukudi and I see the mosque, beautiful edifice. I don't have any problem in having a cathedral. Absolutely. And as you've just read, it is not just a place for worship. There are other things that comes with it. It's like a tourist site. And I've listened to the people around the cathedral. I mean, the managers. I mean, they've espoused a lot of, and you are just reading here, there are tourists, we expect that some number of people come in, get us some revenue. However, what I'm not excited about is the revelations coming out now as to the amount of money that have been pumped into the construction. My worry is that it's like it's being serialized. Today we hear it's 20 million. The next day another 25 million. 35 million has been paid to somebody else. I believe very strongly that my advice to government, and I'm a member of government, that the finance ministry as quickly as possible should come out with a statement to explain to everybody the circumstances surrounding the releases of this money.
The finance ministry.
The finance ministry, because all these payments are coming from the finance ministry.
Right.
You get the point I'm making. I'm not too excited about the way it's coming into the media, as if today you are there, we're giving 20 million, 25 million, 30 million.
Because I listened to Dr. John Kuma my
point is that the responsible ministry must, as quickly as possible, to calm down nerves, this propaganda going around. Going on, of course. I mean, my brother was talking about Cathedral. Obviously, he veered into all kinds of things.
Example.
Oh, please. He veered into all kinds of things. To settle these matters, please, Ministry of Finance, as quickly as possible, bring clarity to this whole process.
Ben, can I ask him a question?
Bring clarity to this whole process.
It's very important.
All right, before you come, and I'm happy as a member of the finance committee.
Yes.
You are there, and you are calling on the finance minister
to bring clarity to the
matter.
Issue about somebody sees this something, he puts it on his Facebook page, and there's a debate about it.
And there's something we have cited as well. We'll show it on the screens as well. But it's from the Office of the President, dated the 19th of October 2020. There you have it on the screen. And it's there you see re-seed money for the National Cathedral of Ghana. Please refer to letter number, and the number is quoted, dated 19th October 2020 from the Chief of Staff's Office of the President. On the above subject matter, copy attached, you are hereby authorized to release the sum of 142,762,500 Ghana cedis, being the equivalent of $25 million, converted at an exchange rate of 5.7105 to the dollar, as seed money to the National Cathedral Secretariat to enable the commencement of planned activities. The expenditure of the said sum should be charged as per the attached specific warrant. And then MDA and MMDAs are to note that henceforth the understated clause is required to be inserted in all contracts. Okay, so and it's signed by the Honorable, of course we have the Honorable Minister of Finance there. It is signed by Honorable Akosua Fremose Opare, Chief of Staff, and those who are copied, the Chairman, the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral, and it goes on and on. So that is it.
In chief, want to say, Master,
Murtala, what are you saying?
In chief,
you want to say what?
My stomach. My stomach. How would you say it?
No,
help me.
You were saying it.
Don't mind.
Is it me yam?
Don't mind.
What is our crime?
Listen.
No, can I?
There was an initial 20 million Ghana cedis. Today we are hearing of 25. We got to know of 30-something million to David Ajayi. I'm saying.
So how many are the seeds that,
I'm saying,
in a composite sense, form the seed money? Because it's seed.
The ministry responsible for all these payments must, as quickly as possible, bring clarity.
Okay,
release
all
a
right.
statement.
Let's let this matter rest.
I have some questions.
Right. And after this follow-up, it's done for. Let's let this
with all sincerity, I mean it. He's one of the MPs I have so much respect for. To be very honest with you, I mean, you barely find such honest MPs from the MPP. I can talk about him and Kisi. You see, I read Malcolm X's book, and I just want my brother to take it home so that it becomes a guiding principle. When they asked him about truth, you know why he said? That I'm for truth no matter who says it. I'm for justice no matter who is it for or against.
Right.
I'm a human being first and foremost. As such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. You should have said, I'm a Ghanaian. As such, I'm for whatever and whoever benefits this nation. Ask him, as a member of the Finance Committee, has this thing been brought to your attention? Now, he's talking about the fact that the minister must come to clarify. There are some clarification you don't need a minister. The fact is that Parliament didn't approve it. You know that as a member of the Finance Committee. As a member of the Finance Committee, this thing was never brought to your attention. You know that.
Let me ask you, Collins, as a member of the Finance Committee, did you ever cite anything related to this before?
But he knows the process. Normally, after the budget has been approved, payments like this does not come back to us.
No.
It does not.
It means that it's look.
You are not getting. You know this.
To give money.
No. Allow him to explain. I'll allow you to.
No, I don't.
After the budget
know
has been approved,
counter thinking.
Payments does not come to us. It is when the new budget is going to be read that expenditures are brought.
But at some point, for an expenditure like this, the Finance Committee would be privy to the fact that, I mean, this is dated what? We're looking at the 19th of October, 2020.
So the point is that
Ben,
let me just ask you this. Up until this point, up until the point when the discourse started about $25 million, were you aware that this money had been paid?
Of this just this morning.
You got to know of it just this morning.
That's why
this morning.
This morning.
So Ben,
and that is why I am saying we shouldn't draw conclusions.
No, Master.
The best is, I'm coming. Murtala, I'm coming.
The
best is for the ministry.
Okay.
This is emanating from the Ministry of Finance. It's now out.
We are elected not only to make laws. We have a moral duty and a responsibility to play the oversight responsibility. So and within that oversight responsibility, you have an extra oversight. And that is why you are
as a finance committee.
Right.
And I'm saying that
hold on. You said that when budget is approved.
Yes.
Look, I read from one page to the last page of the budget. You read it. Was this thing captured in the budget?
In which of the years? 2021?
2022.
I didn't see that.
2021.
I didn't see that. That's what I'm saying.
I'm coming.
I did not.
Hold on. 2018. Did you see it?
I'm just telling you that I even saw it just this morning.
I haven't finished.
So my point is that
listen.
To settle these matters, the ministry responsible for all these payments.
And that's why you're calling for.
Must come out and give us explanation.
Ben, don't allow him to run away.
I'm not running away. I'm here.
This idea of trying to deceive your viewing public into thinking.
I'm not deceiving anybody.
That there is something to be settled.
No.
It's a settled matter.
No.
I have asked you as a member of the Finance Committee.
And I've told you that I have not seen it.
Let me finish. I have asked.
But once I've not seen it, it's not the duty of the ministry to explain.
I have asked you.
That's the point I'm making.
I have asked you as a member of the Finance Committee. In fact, forget of the Finance Committee. As a member of Parliament, was this thing in the 2018 budget? No. Was it in the 2019 budget? No. Was it in the 2020, 2021 budget, 2022? Maybe perhaps that one has taken some. 2022? No.
I came to Parliament in 2022.
I said 2022. Was it in the budget? Was it in the 2021 budget? No. And I'm saying that in this parliament, you are a member of the finance committee. Forget of the other budgets. 2022. The laws of these countries are very clear. And I'm asking you to be very sincere. Take solace in the quotations I give to you. I read it when I was in SSS1. Take solace in that and tell your viewing public whether this thing was ever brought to your attention or whether it was even in the budget.
Have I not answered this question?
No, you said that when budgets are approved.
Yes.
This, and I'm not talking of even the estimate. Was it?
All right, gentlemen.
I'm telling you that I have not seen this until this morning.
I can understand your
until this morning.
No, I can understand your.
But the point is that I'm calling on the ministry.
Right.
I'm calling on the ministry.
We now have a member of the finance committee who is telling us.
I've not seen it.
His attention has just been drawn to this.
Absolutely.
And that is what I find curious.
I saw it this morning.
But of course, he's also being as candid as you have said. He's being candid and saying that I'm seeing it now. I've never seen it.
But my point is that the ministry responsible for this payment has a duty now.
But do you admit, just to cap off this entire conversation, do you admit that it's problematic that
it is.
As a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, no other committee, the Finance Committee of Parliament,
it is.
You are this morning.
Listen, it's not even about
getting wind of this.
It's not even about me being a member of
Parliament,
the Finance Committee. Budgets are presented to Parliament. So my brother, the fact that I'm in the Finance Committee does not mean that I'm privy to everything.
No, you are
the point is that
to more of the
yes, but the point is that this issue should be available to everybody.
But it's not there.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. That I saw it just this morning.
All right, gentlemen.
And the point I'm making is that the ministry has a duty. Yes, a duty. To come out and clarify.
I have a passionate appeal to me, and frankly, if I get the opportunity, I could be on my.
In some 30 seconds.
I'm asking President Nanado, what crime have you committed against him and his government? What crime? That they subject the people of this country at a time when everybody in this country is struggling. My car, how much fuel are you now? You know, this argument about Ghanaians.
I think we've gone that time with that number. Murtala. So let's move the conversation forward. But let's talk as well. Let's talk about something that
the fact that would TZ yesterday. TZ again. Let's continue.
Let's move the conversation forward to another matter that could, affect electoral fortunes and all of that. I'll start with you, Murtala. Now,
you seem to be starting with me, but that's fine.
Yes. I'll start with you because it's your party,
He's a comrade.
You lost the 2020 election, did you not?
The Supreme Court says so.
You don't know that the NDC lost the 2022 presidential election?
I strongly believe we never lost the elections.
As of today, you as member of Parliament for Tamale Central, you strongly believe the NDC did not lose the presidential election?
I strongly believe that the elections were rigged, but that is not the issue. What is the issue?
Where is your evidence? Based on what? Because the court threw you out.
You see, there is a proverb in the Gbani. You are in the market, and
nowadays you're beginning to remind me of ABF Hussein.
Yes. If you are in the center of the market, and they started shouting that someone has stolen saltpeter, what's the sentence?
Yeah.
And then only you have started running away. Everybody will know who has stolen the saltpeter. If the electoral commissioner and the electoral commission has nothing to hide, why were they running away from being scrutinized?
They were shielded by the law. It was an option they could take, and they took it.
I'm saying that they could have insisted that they wanted to, so that to bring to clarity and certainty whether the elections we had was actually transparent or not. But you see, that is not the issue. The promoters of this motion haven't said anywhere that they are challenging the declared results in the 2020 election. They haven't said anywhere like that. So I don't know why
there's been talk about impacting electoral reform and electoral process going into the next election.
They haven't said anywhere that the objective, overarching objective of this motion is to challenge the declared results of the 20.
But while that tacitly
let me finish.
But you have said you just said that you still feel the election was rigged. So
you asked
behind there, like others from the majority have said, then it is bad faith you guys are coming with.
You are now behaving like MPP. You ask,
I'm behaving like MPP. How?
They're not straight. They go here.
That's not what I'm doing.
You have asked a specific question. You asked me about the declared results, and I gave you my position.
Okay.
But I'm saying that in the matter of this motion that is being promoted by 5 of our colleagues, they haven't said anywhere, and I listened to my brother comrade Kofi Adams on your station.
Right.
You guys should be awarding me. I listen to your station all the time, even though I disagree.
That's why you're so well informed.
So I'm saying,
you listen to us, so we give you accurate information.
I'm saying that they haven't said anywhere that this motion is being promoted for the purposes of determining whether the elections declared in the 2020 was the right declared.
Point made.
That's not what.
Point made.
They are simple accents.
It's just the rhetoric of some of you. That's why I had to go there.
For accountability. It doesn't matter what the Supreme Court says. I listened to my senior colleague, Honorable Atachian, who was talking about it's an affront to blah, blah. The Parliament is an independent state institution. It's one of the most important, if not the most important arm of government.
But speaking of this accountability, you've had a review of the electoral process. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Your party decided not to partake in some of those activities. Then you came out with your own book,
see,
so to speak.
Do you know why?
No, let me just looking at the process generally. And the Electoral Commission also said, okay, Ben, we are taking a look at it. But
with all apologies to our viewing public this morning, perhaps some will be taking their breakfast. But proverbs are proverbs. That you cannot sleep with an itching anus and do not expect to wake up with smelling fingers. The reason why we have the challenges we have today is because of the conduct of the Electoral Commission. Isn't it of tremendous interest to you that when the Electoral Commissioner herself vaunted that she saved this nation a lot of millions of Ghana cedis, if not dollars, against the previous Electoral Commissioners and Electoral Commissions, you think that we should just allow her to make that statement without we ascertaining what magic wand did she have such that she could save this country millions of Ghana cedis or dollars? 2, the same Electoral Commissioner is being accused for violating procurement laws. We are talking about laws that determine how public funds are managed in terms of award of contract. Now, if you haven't stolen saltpeter, why are you running away? Wouldn't it be in the interest of the Electoral Commission and the people of this country, including you, the media, that the Electoral Commission absolve itself from this allegation of, violating the procurement laws? Isn't that of interest to you? I thought that multimedia, you should even be urging the NDC members of Parliament on so that we can ensure that the Electoral Commission...
We wouldn't jump into the fray like
jump
that and go to one side.
Not going to
you bring up the issues
Ben,
and we deliberate
you are not going
them,
to one side.
To expect us to come
Ben,
in.
You are not going to one side. I am talking about respecting the procurement laws. You have had series of news and serialization of how procurement laws have been violated. When Charlotte Osei issue came, were you guys not talking about it? One of the reasons why Charlotte was removed was because she allegedly violated procurement laws. Now, if there is another one who is accused for violating procurement processes, why are you not interested this time around? Perhaps what is good for the goose is not good for the gander in multimedia. If indeed what is good perhaps, I'm saying perhaps. I'm saying that perhaps.
Yes, but
I'm just using.
But while you say perhaps, I must also state categorically that is not the case.
Now, if you tell me,
all of these stories,
if you tell me
this platform will give you the best side of it.
You are not. In this case, you are telling me.
We never turn a blind eye to it.
In this case, you are telling me that you won't jump into supporting one side. We are not saying that we have our own editorial policy.
Editorial policy. Do what has to be done. It doesn't mean that we must come and push the minority to do anything.
I'm saying, should urge us on. What is significant to be done is that your interest in protecting our laws, in ensuring that the procurement processes are respected. And that is where I am inviting you. And I'm urging multimedia on, please, for what you have been doing, don't let it be a 9-day wonder. I want you to support this motion that is being moved so that the Electoral Commissioner will be able to tell us whether indeed they violated the procurement processes or not. People have been prosecuted. I had a discussion with you about the Auditor General's report when we went around the country. Over 50 institutions have been referred to the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General for prosecution, simply because they violated procurement processes. Nobody should be above laws. Another thing that is very important is that we people have challenges. It doesn't matter what the Supreme Court says in the matter of the election results. Parliament is an independent body, and Parliament can demand through the people's representation.
You don't have oversight over the Electoral Commission.
Why?
You don't have oversight over
the people of this country have oversight over the Electoral Commission.
Yes, but you, as members of Parliament, do you have any direct oversight over the Electoral Commission?
We are the representatives of the people. So the people of this country have oversight responsibility of the Electoral Commission. In fact, even the president. The reason why we just discussed the illegal removal of money for the purposes of satisfying the uncontrollable pledge a president made with his creator is because the president is not above the laws. The Electoral Commission is not above the law.
So just to conclude, let me bring in Colin. What is the end game in 10 seconds? What is the end game of
sanitize the system, strengthen our democratic processes, and ensure that the procurement laws of this country are respected, and also to make a very strong case that no one is above the law, not even the Electoral Commission. Nobody, including the president.
The majority, I've heard some of your majority members say that this is like flogging a dead horse. 2020 is past. This is dead on arrival. It's not going anywhere. It's just people being mischievous, like all kinds of. What do you think?
It is dead on arrival.
Wow.
Yamutu.
Okay.
Hey, you don't win election with big English.
Oh.
You don't win election with adages and proverbs.
No, I don't want that.
Oh, please. When you were speaking, when you were speaking, I kept quiet. Please control him for me. You don't win election with big English. And that's when there's a shout of a thief in the marketplace. That's not what wins election. What wins election is when you train your polling agent to be mathematically inclined.
And send military men.
Please, Murtala, you spoke. I was seated here.
Thank you.
What wins election?
So are you suggesting implicitly that they were sloppy and your party took advantage of their sloppiness? No, is that what you're saying?
Till date, they have not even been able to tell us on their own the votes that they got. They went to the Supreme Court.
I remember Johnson
now you are bringing a motion for us to investigate Tom
the figures. You were giving us the same figures.
What Tom Prince?
But we didn't go to the Supreme Court.
When we were investing in technology.
I get it.
When we were investing in technology.
Help him.
Oh, please. When we were investing in technology and getting our results within 8 hours after the election, you saw His Excellency John Dramani on some NASCO something. What are you talking about? Big English do not win elections. You cannot overturn election by coming to Parliament with a motion and calling for us to investigate why there was a thumb-printed ballot. What thumb-printed ballot? What is he talking about?
Is that what we did?
You got an opportunity.
Are you guys investing in the technology?
No, let me finish. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. And you spoke. Let me finish. The Constitution is clear. When there's a dispute in an election, go to the Supreme Court. You took the right channel. When they were having press conferences that they had won the election and declaring His Excellency John Mohammed as the president, which results were they rely on? When they were declaring themselves at a press conference and saying they had won the election, when Otokuno was singing that they had won, Sami Jensi was referring to the president, His Excellency, as the next president of Ghana. Which results were they relying on? Which results? Now you go to the appropriate forum, which is the court, Supreme Court. There is no fiction, it's facts.
Oh, really?
You are given an opportunity to defend. You could not even provide one evidence.
So let me ask you.
Now you come back to Parliament that
do you concur, Murtala, hold on. Do you concur that, with him, of course, that Parliament does have some oversight over the Electoral Commission? And so depending on what actions are taken by the Electoral Commissioner and her team, Parliament can get them. Hold on. Parliament can get them to answer questions.
The Electoral Commission is an independent body, but I know that their budget and all that comes through Parliament. But it's an independent body. We all know that. It is an independent body.
The reason I pose this question is, does Parliament have any business engaging in this enterprise?
We don't have any problem.
Is it lawful?
Oh, yes, they can file as motions. You can file as many motions as you want. But I'm telling you, Yamutu, it is dead on arrival. Now read your topic, the second one. The one you gave me. Read it.
Oh, Ben.
No, read it. Wait.
Which one?
Wait, my brother. You spoke. Let me speak.
Determined to him what?
No, let me read let me read. Minority in Parliament is pushing for a special bipartisan committee to review the 2020 elections, particularly allegation of pre-term printed ballot paper. We are now going to investigate pre-term printed ballot paper in 2022. When you lost by almost 500,000 votes.
But the matter, the matter, if they feel the matter, hold on, Collins. If they feel the matter has still not been addressed, and the point must be made that they are simply saying ahead of 2024.
Yes.
We don't want certain things to be repeated. Is that not just?
What should not be repeated is that they shouldn't bring people who are not mathematically inclined to the polling station. They should train their polling agents, get the results. They should invest in technology, as we did. That is why. Hold on. That is why.
I will allow you to.
In my constituency, immediately the election was done by 5 o'clock. By 8, I knew I had won the election because we are putting mechanisms to get the results to the center. You guys were sleeping.
I want to assume you are putting in similar, if not better, mechanisms.
We are even doubling it.
Ben.
Hey, we are getting ready for 2024. You'll be here and be doing motion and say they are going to investigate
He said by 8:30. By 7:30, I knew I had won.
Okay, if you knew.
Let me finish.
By me, by 11 o'clock.
Can I finish?
We knew.
Must you do this?
Can I finish? Oh, Ben, can I finish?
Ben.
Let me
Ben.
finish.
I'm saying by no, you are not giving you the chance. You are not giving you the chance. By 11, we knew Nana Adomako-Mensah had won the election by
okay. So let me just ask you
this issue about
the minority college.
No, it's important. He says that the electoral commissioner should have been compelled to mount the witness.
Did I say that? You are not even listening.
Oh, what did he say?
What did you eat this morning?
I didn't eat anything.
Oh, that's the reason.
I'm not eating
that explains why.
Stop that.
No, I have
so let me quickly do this. I'll give you a minute.
Is it by force for the electoral commissioner?
Because you've had your extensive
for the electoral commissioner to mount them.
That is not. It's not by force.
It's not by force.
And she took the option.
Absolutely.
Have I said that?
Speak to your lawyers.
No, he's just saying.
He's saying that I just said.
Point to be made though.
Hold on.
So hold on. In calling for this bipartisan, committee to look into this matter, it's been said that some of you, your membership, the majority,
the promoters of the motion,
are also.
What is this bipartisan? All of them are NDC.
Are you not aware of any such?
Which of our members is supporting this?
I'm not saying the names that we've seen so far, but they are saying that there are.
Look at the promoters of the motion.
Right.
All of them are NDC.
No, I'm not disputing that. But they say that there are some of your membership, just as we saw in the election of the Speaker of Parliament. They say there are secret members who are.
Let me make it clear here. Members of the MPP, we are very clear in our mind that Nana Adomako-Mensah won the election cleanly. Okay. He is the commander-in-chief now.
1 minute. So we move on.
This issue about go and train your polling agents to get ready to tabulate. No room for mischief.
I agree.
Right. And don't come back to Parliament and be doing
tom. Growing up, there was this fella. Zombie no go chop unless the master tell him to chop. You see, I just asked him here when we were looking at the LGBTQ thing. And I said, look into the camera and tell people your position. He says, no, I can't say it here.
I didn't say that.
No, but
I made my position clear.
I can
I've told you that I am not for gayism.
It's fine.
It's simple as that.
You made your point.
My position is clear. Culturally,
you see,
religiously, I'm not for that.
First and foremost, have you heard of the story of If a Gamma Lizard, More Paper? A student prepared to write biology. He prepared for a gamma lizard, read everything about a gamma lizard. He went into the exam. They didn't bring a gamma lizard, they brought crocodile. And because he prepared for a gamma lizard, the moment he saw the paper, he said, oh, if a gamma lizard, more paper. All the issues I have raised in answering the questions you asked me, he has failed to respond to a single one of them. I raised the issue of alleged procurement breaches. He didn't. I mean, for that one, he is not interested.
Is your motion about alleged
procurement breaches? They are all 9. They are about 9. I'm saying that I raised issue about the fact that the electoral processes are challenges and we all want to sanitize the system. But you see, I won't dwell on that. He's telling me that if the NDC wants to win elections, we should train our people. It's true, but there's one thing he didn't mention. He didn't also tell us that we should get armed military men and policemen to go to coalition centers to terrorize and gun down people. He didn't tell me that. What we are preparing for is that you will not do what you did in 2020. We will not allow you to use for the first time state institutions, peoples whose taxes, whose comfort are ensured by our taxes. They gunned down 8 people in this country. That is what we are going to.
What we did in 2020. No. But what you are saying is not right.
Now he said that
what we did in 2020 was to train our polling agent to be vigilant.
Hold on. He said that.
That's what we did.
He said that you don't win elections with big English.
Big English, yes.
I agree. You don't also win elections with funny English. When you try to slang,
he's there.
You try to slang to win.
He's the president now.
Have you listened to?
He's the president now.
Listened to Honorable Adjuasafo?
He's the president now.
Have you listened to the recent?
She had an interaction right here.
My very good friend.
I followed everything.
She also started slanging. I won't be surprised by the time we finish this program, he also starts slanging. But you see, the people of the verdict of what you did, when you build a house with saliva, it is easily destroyed with hue. You won the elections through a default.
With default.
And that is the reason why
that is why
the mess we are facing in this country.
That is why you went to court.
Hold on. The mess we are facing in this country is unabated. You have failed to respond to the position I made strongly that nothing bars Parliament from doing what we are doing. And I was expecting you.
But I've not said that.
I was expecting you as a young person.
Yes.
Who is in Parliament. I understand. But you see, I was expecting you to be supporting this kind of motions.
As to support this motion?
For me, it reassesses the independence of the legislature. For me, that's what it does.
All right,
it reassesses the independence.
I will not support a motion that is calling on us to go back to 2020 election to investigate unprinted ballots. You had an opportunity in court.
Not only in court.
In court.
At the polling stations.
You had an opportunity in
at
court
the
to correct any mistake that you think happened.
By the way, by 7:30, I knew I had won the election.
You did not.
You were late. Even with your training, you got your results.
I'm sure these pictures will be painted ahead of 2024. But another crucial matter I want us to sneak in before we wrap the conversation. Public sector workers, public sector wages. And the government statistician, Professor Enim joined me on the show yesterday, and he stated categorically, I did not say that public sector workers are overpaid. He was merely saying that maybe, generally, in fact, averagely you're giving someone about 3,420. The person's work or output is maybe commensurable with about 1,420. So we may not be getting effectiveness, efficiency, value for money, the right output. But is that really the case? I want just a minute, like brutal, straight to the point commentary on this. He says I start with him all the time, so I'll start with you.
Well, I listen.
But if you want me to start again, I will.
And you need to see me for some tree lessons. I need tree lessons.
Oh, tree, yeah.
Please go ahead.
I listened to the statistician. A very interesting conversation. Of course, this issue about public sector workers, this is not the first time discussions about whether indeed their work output.
People have been referencing what former President, His Excellency Kufuor said. Workers pretend to work. Government also pretends to
Edward Mama claimed that he was the original maker of that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
This
one there is another.
But clearly, I think we all have to be frank. Sometimes you go to a private sector institution and you enter the office and you could see clearly, the kind of focus and attention that everybody's giving to work. And you go to certain ministries and you see people.
Example.
Oh, please.
Be courageous.
Oh. Why is Murtala always.
I know he frequents the Minister of Finance. So be courageous.
Maybe is that the ministry you're referencing?
Maybe that explains the mess.
No. We all know sometimes you go, you realize that for me, what is important is employers should be setting targets, just as we do in the private sector. So do you
agree then when the statistician says, look, set up a committee like the Public Accounts Committee. Let's get into this and let's ensure that public sector workers are actually doing the right thing per the wages they
I'm not too sure if we need a new committee to do this. The employer, which is government, must set targets, just as happens in the private sector. He's a member of the Public Accounts Committee. He goes around and he sees that the right word. There are issues with the behavior of certain people within the district. Let me take a district, a typical district.
It happens like Cocoa Board.
It happens all the time. This year they are in the report. The following year they are in the report. Why don't you set a target? that the next time I see that you breach this particular rule, you face the sanction. Put certain measures in place to get them to work. That's what for me. That's what.
Quick point. Very quickly.
When we finish with the 2017 Auditor General's report, the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Honorable Afigya, made it very, very clear to MMDCs and other state institutions that in looking at the 2018 report, any procurement breaches will be referred to the Minister for Justice and Attorney General for prosecution. And true to his words, we referred over 50 state institutions to the Minister of Justice and
made mention of that
for prosecution. But the question, my challenge about this proposition is that how are the standards going to be set? Who determines how the standards are set? Running a government, and in this case, ministries and agencies, are not necessarily profit-making, agencies. There are some that the state expands money, for example, just for the purposes of providing social services to people. How would you set the standard? How do you determine that? But you see, if you want to set standard, and I urge the fiscal service, President Nanado wouldn't be in office. Because for him, he will get like 10%. The Minister for Finance will get like 3%. Most of these ministers won't be in office. So if you set that particular standard, the entire government will go. Maybe perhaps my good friend and others who demonstrate some little fairness in being sincere on issues would have to take charge.
All right, so your
in
point,
as much as it's a good call,
right.
in as much as it's a good call, the challenge is how are those standards going to be set? And until we come out with how we can set up such standards, I think that will help. But what is important is the laws we already have, the ability of the laws to bite. There are sanctions governing how people should conduct themselves, particularly public office holders.
So that should bite.
Unfortunately, if we do that, I don't think that will
I don't want to, because I did promise that I would get back to this. We're not going to discuss the LGBTQI bit.
Why are we
today.
not going to
Not today.
The embassies have threatened you people.
But, oh, no.
So let's discuss.
Have you looked at the time?
No.
Have you looked at
Don't
it? But he made mention of something, which is why I just want your quick thought on that. You said that you were, and I noted it down, you are for, basically, by and large, your example about your analogy of being married and children and all that.
Everybody's
But
married.
you said there are aspects,
very, very beautiful.
There are aspects of the bill, Collins, pay no mind to.
No, I'm just informing that my wife is very...
You said there were aspects of the bill you didn't like. Can you name one or two of them?
Not today. Not today. Not today.
You see?
Not today.
You see?
Not today.
There are aspects of the bill you are not comfortable with, but you are not willing to talk about them.
Yes, I prefer to make that on the floor of Parliament when the report is presented to the plenary. I'll call for an amendment of certain...
It's a reminiscence of what the president said.
I don't get this.
When Sheikh Asali interviewed him on Free SHS, and he said that the cost, I will tell the people of this country. That explains why we have the challenges we have. Why can't you tell the people of this country whether you are for the bill or not?
I say
privately, he is for the bill, but publicly, the Flagstaff House.
We'll stick to what we hear from him.
Okay, so tell us.
And that's exactly why I'm saying we'll stick to what we hear from him. You cannot speak for him. You are not his
mouthpiece. That's not a fair comment to make that. Flagstaff House is pushing me.
So what is the reason?
No. You can't.
Okay, so tell us.
I'm telling you that.
Ask me the same question. Let me answer. Ask me the same question. Let me answer.
No, but
I think your opinion is clear. Your opinion is
for you to say that the Flagstaff House is putting me in line to say...
I know him to be a very good Christian. No, I know. And I know him that he respects the teachings of the Bible. The Bible
to wrap the entire conversation, Murtala, where you are going, we will not finish with this conversation. To wrap the entire conversation, 30 seconds and 30 seconds each. Please, Murtala, please.
Then you start.
Dr. Afigya returned almost 400,000, the Ex-Gratia. How do you feel about that?
You should tell us.
No, you people, you also take Ex-Gratia.
No, but
I just had to. Article 71 for no. So he returned. So his Ex-Gratia as a Council of State chair, right?
He voluntarily returned.
I respect Togbe. I mean, I think there are very few.
Some say the others should do same. Do you agree?
I respect Togbe, and I think there are very few Ghanaians who have risen through the business. I mean, a very astute businessman. I'm begging him. He shouldn't veer into this area.
Why?
And expose himself to a lot of discussions and...
Why?
The rhetoric on social media has been very positive.
He says in his letter that It took him close to about a year to realize that an amount of 360-something thousand Ghana cedi has hit his account.
The man has that.
I'm coming.
That much
I'm coming.
money.
He says it is illegal. 360-something thousand Ghana cedi stays in your account for a year. Why didn't he return the interest that accrued on the illegal money?
Okay.
He says the money paid into his account is illegal. For a whole year, the money was in his account. When he was returning the money, why didn't he return the illegal?
He didn't say it was illegal, so to speak.
Never said.
He never said it was illegal. He was merely saying that.
He says.
No. Let me give. I don't have the full statement. I don't want to go through it. But he's saying that I got a salary. You know, I was paid something as a member of the Council of State monthly. And how many times do we really sit and all of that?
He said the job is part-time.
And at the end, I realized that this whopping sum had been paid into my account. And I don't feel, having got a salary for what I was doing,
he says,
I don't feel right in my conscience to get this lump sum of money
the job of
at the end of my term.
Council of State member, he says part-time. Why was he receiving full salary for part-time job?
Maybe we should be asking the system, and we should be asking you why people then are getting full-time pay for part-time work.
He was given some loan, just as we all take car loan at that time. Do you take $80,000 car loan for a part-time job?
Ben, I'm not privy much to this story, but I just want to commend to be Afigya for that outstanding, leadership. Some chiefs were given state money to celebrate their festivals in this country under this government. Our money, our taxpayers' money. The state dipped its hands and gave it to some people. Now, assuming without admitting that he said it was illegal, we can question the rationale and the reasons.
He didn't even say that.
Assuming without...
And I've clarified that already, but
yeah,
since there's even a release from the...
this is in response
This is a response
to what
Paul Adomako-Mensah did. And point 4 states categorically that Togbe did not say, and Togbe here, Togbe Afigya, did not say the ex-Gratia payments were illegal. And that is clear.
That has been settled. You see, it's the mouth that lies. The heart knows the truth. And my brother doesn't seem to be taking solace in Malcolm X's statement. You see?
All right.
No, yes. You see, Ben, let me make this point.
It's time to go.
We all must sacrifice at any point in time. Look, I have made some sacrifices for the state. As a deputy minister of state,
it's a choice.
I was entitled.
It's a choice.
Yes, I'm saying that as a deputy minister of state, I was entitled to have an official driver. I chose not to. I didn't ask the state to give me that money because I didn't have a driver. I urged them to do so. Unfortunately, they have appetite for chop.
All right. We have a lot more coming your way this morning. We'll be, coming your way with that discourse as well, Samuel Kojo Brace, and we'll also be letting you have your say. But, gentlemen, a very big thank you to you for joining the conversation.
Thank you for having us.
For coming. Collins Adomako-Mensah, Member of Parliament, Afigya Kwabre North constituency,
one of the few. But he should see me for lessons so that he would get his results.
But I thank him for the kind words. I thank him.
No. I mean, he's
also a very good brother. Yes. Of course, very diabolic. Of course. Everybody knows that.
Murtala Mohammed. Oh, you don't take exception to the diabolism. Murtala Mohammed, Member of Parliament, Tamale Central. Well, that is how we wrap this conversation. We'll be back, like I said, with that interview and more discourse right here on the AM show. Do stay.
Your